Okay, and the next part goes like this. Okay, all you're doing there is you're hitting the 4 3 times, and you're going down to 2 and then up to 4. And then you hit this chord again. And then you bar across the second fret, palm muted, and that's the last part for that one. Okay, so that second part of the breakdown is. Okay, and then it does the first part again. And the last part goes like this. Alright, it starts the same. You hit 4 3 times. And then you go 2 4. You hit this chord. And then the very last part, you just strum open 3 times. Like that, palm muted. And then you land on 2, and that's it. So the last part slowly goes. Okay, and then it just repeats. And then after it repeats, the lead guitar comes in and plays this. Okay, and that's going to repeat over and over. The first note right here is on the first string, 9th fret, and you're going to bend that. Okay, and on the third string, you're going to go 11, 9, 11. Okay, when you go from 9 to 11, you just hammer on there. Okay, and then the next part, you're on the 14th fret of the second string, and then you want to be on the 10th fret of the first string, and you do this. Okay, so it goes. Alright, and then from now on, it just kind of repeats. This note here that you started with is going to be the same note as the second string 14th fret. So you can just play it from here for the rest of this riff. The only reason you start here on the first one is because when you're doing this riff down here, it's a little closer and it's faster to get to when the riff starts. So go. Okay, and the next one, it goes like this. It's on the second string 14th fret. Bend it. Do this again. Okay, right here on the first string, you're going to go 14, 10, and then right back to that first note, which is the 14th fret of the second string. And then you start over. And you do that first part again. Repeat. And this is the last part. It's a little bit different. On the first string, it goes 14, 10, and then 16. And that's the end of it. So all that together goes. Alright, and then the rhythm guitar plays 3 chords, and the lead guitar that you're playing, that little surf theme that comes in that sounds like. Okay, all that is, the strumming pattern is just 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, over and over and over. So it's, and then 3, and then 1, 1, 2, 3. And the notes that you're playing are on the 6th string only, and it's going to go 4, 2, 4, 7, and then open, 9. And that's it, and that just repeats. Okay, and the last time that you play this, you don't actually go to the 9th fret. What you do is you go all the way up to the 24th fret, or the highest fret you have if you're a 22 fret guitar, and you just slide from 24 down to 12. Okay, and this is where the solo comes in, and it starts off on the 5th string and the 4th string. And on both of those strings, starting on the 5th string, you're going to go 14, 16, just hammer on, and then 14, 16. And then 14 on the 3rd string. The first part is. And when you hit that on the 3rd string, you kind of want to give it a little bend. Okay, and then you do that again. Except on the second time, when you get to the 3rd string, you're going to hammer up to the 16th fret. And when you do that, you're going to do 16, 14, pull off. And then you do the same thing on the 4th string. Okay, so that will go. So all together. Okay, and then right after here, with the pinch harmonics, on the 3rd string it goes 16, 14, and then 4th string, 16. Like that, and you do that 3 times. Except the 3rd time you don't hit the 4th string, you just do 16, 14 on the 3rd string. Okay, so all together. And then right here, that bend that you hear, you want to put your first finger on the 2nd string, 14th fret, and then on the third string you want to be on the 16th fret, and you want to bend just the third string. Like that. Okay, then you come back to 16 on the third string. And then on the third string you go down to the 14th fret. So. Okay, then right here on the third string you're going to go 16, 17, 18. On the second string you're going to go 17, 19. So. And then you're going to pull back off to 17. And then hit 19 again. So. And then on the first string you go to 17. So after you hit 17, you're going to hit it again, and you're going to hammer up to 19. And then right here you're going to bend. Just like that, okay? Just you bend it twice. And right here, you go all the way up to the 24th fret. You're going to go 24, 21, 20. And then you go to the 24th fret on the second string. And then you go down here to where your pinky finger is on the 14th fret of the second string. You want your first finger to be on the 11th fret of the third string. And you want your middle finger to be on the 12th fret of the first string. And you're going to palm mute only the third string, so it sounds like this. Okay, and all you're doing there, the picking pattern goes like this. It goes 3, 2, 3, 1. And then you hit the second string. And you start over. So the first part is. And the second time you go 3, 2, 3, 1, 1, 3. Okay, and right after you do that, on the second string you're going to go up to the 15th fret. And then you're going to hit that third string again. And then you're going to hit the 14th fret of the second string and bend it. Okay, so that all played together slowly goes like this. Okay, and then right here, on the 12th fret, you're going to pick it like this. You're going to strum it once, and then you're going to do like a little triplet, 3 strums. Okay, and you're going to do the same thing on the 15th fret of the second string. So. And then you're going to go down to 14 and hit that twice. So. And right here on the second string, you're going to go down to 7 and slide right back up to 15. And then on the first string, you're going to hit 17. And then go right back to the 15th fret of the second string. So. Okay, and the next part of the solo goes like this. And all you're doing is you're barring across the first and second string, and you're starting on 12th fret, and you're going to go 12, 14, 12, 14. Okay, then right here, you're going to go up to the 17th fret on the first string, and you're just going to do a pull off. Just like that. So leave your finger right where it was. And then you're going to, right after that, you're going to go 11, 12. Okay? And the last part of the solo on the first string just goes 17, 19 with the same bend that you did before. And you land on 19 right after the 2 bends. And on the first string you go 17, 16, and then you land on 19 on the second string. Okay. And then it goes right back into the breakdown from the beginning. But as you can see, the order of things has changed a little bit. The first time you do it, you do the walk down on the 6th string like I showed you before. Okay, and then you just continue after that. Okay, and this is all the parts that I just played there. That's the order that it's played in. And I already showed you how to play all those different riffs. But right when you get to this point, you hear this on the 4th string. It goes. Okay, and then it goes right into the breakdown towards the end of the song. And all you're doing there on the 4th string, after you hit each note, you're going to pull off to open. Okay, but the notes you're hitting, it goes 12, 11, 9, 11, 9, 7, 9, 6. Okay? Okay, and that's it for that part. And it goes into the breakdown, which sounds like this. And then it repeats like that. It starts with hitting the 4th fret, not palm muted. Okay, that's the only time you hit it during the breakdown. And then the pattern of open notes palm muted goes 4, 8, 4. Okay, and then you hear this. You hit the open 4 times, and then you go 7, 4, not palm muted. Okay, so the first part is. Okay, and the second part, it starts the same. It goes 4, 8, 4. Okay, and there's a little bit longer pause here, and then you hit the open note twice, and you go 7, 2, 4. Okay, and then from this point on, everything just repeats exactly like before. So the first 2 parts, which repeat, go. And then when you get to the end of that, the lead guitar slides up. This is the guitar tapping part, and you want to make sure that your first finger is on the 1st and 2nd strings on the 10th fret, and just kind of leave them there like that. And then you want to make sure your pinky is on the 14th fret of the 1st string, and you want to use your right index finger is going to be tapping on different frets on the 1st and 2nd string. Okay, but the pattern with the fingers that are going to be playing the notes, you start by hitting the 17th fret with your 1st index finger on your right hand. And you pull off to your pinky, which is on the 14th fret. So. Okay, and then right when you do that, you pull off with your pinky so that it's hitting the 10th fret on the 1st string. And then you hammer back on with your pinky to the 14th fret. And your fingers are going to be doing that pattern throughout this entire tapping solo. It's exactly the same. The only thing that changes is the notes that you're pulling off and hammering to. So it goes like this. Okay, and you're going to do that 6 times. And right here, this is where it changes a little bit. Your first finger is going to go up so that you're tapping on the 21st fret just once, and then you tap on the 19th fret just once. So it go. Okay, so the first part is just like that, okay? And then you're going to go back to the 17th fret and tap that 4 more times. And this part is where it changes. It goes to the 2nd string. So what you're going to be tapping on the 2nd string, your pinky is going to be on the same fret, just on the 2nd string. So you're going to go like that with your left hand. And with your right hand, you're going to tap on the 19th fret. And you're only going to do that twice. And then it goes back to the 1st string. And with your right hand, you'll be back on the 17th fret. With your pinky, you're actually going to slide down to the 12th fret. And you're going to hit that twice. Okay, so the whole first part of it goes like this. Okay, that's the whole first half of it, and then the second half is almost the same, but it changes right at the end. So you do the first part the same, where you're on 17, 14, and 10, and you hit that 6 times. You do this part again, where it goes 21, and then 19, and then you do the 17 4 more times again, just like before. Okay, and this is where it changes. With your pinky finger, you're going to slide down to the 13th fret. With your first finger, you're going to be on the 17th fret, and you're going to do that twice. Okay, and then your left hand stays the same from here on out, and your first finger just goes up and does 21, 19, and then that's it. It's over. Okay, so the second half of that little tapping goes like this. And that's it. That's the end of the tapping solo. And right after that, the rhythm guitar is just strumming some chords, and those chords sound like this. Okay, and that's just repeated over and over until the very last lead guitar part comes in. And all you're doing there, for the first chord, on the 4th string, you want to be on the 4th fret. And on the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd strings, just bar across the 2nd fret. Okay, and then right here, you're going to slide down so that your pinky is on the 2nd fret of the 4th string, and your first finger is on the 1st fret of the first 3 strings. And you're only going to strum it once, and you're going to slide right back up to that first chord. So. And then right here, you go up to, your pinky finger is going to be on the 7th fret of the 4th string. Here you're going to use your ring finger on the 6th fret of the 3rd string, and then you bar across the 5th fret of the 1st and 2nd strings. Okay, and you only strum that 4 times, so it goes. And then right here, you just go to a D chord. You strum that 8 times, and if you don't know what a D chord is, 1st string, 2nd fret, 2nd string, 3rd fret, 3rd string, 2nd fret. And with all these chords, you only want to be strumming the first 4 strings here, not the top 2. Okay, and then the last chord is on the 9th fret, 4th string, and the first 3 strings barred across on the 7th fret. Okay, and then the last time you'll hear this chord just kind of strum a few times and stop. And then the lead guitar comes in and sounds like this. But it starts off on the 2nd string, 10th fret, and then you're going to go 7, 10, and then on the 1st string you're going to hit 12, and staying on the 1st string you're going to go 14 and pull off to 10, and on the 2nd string you're going to go 14, 15. Okay, so it goes. And then you go back down to 14 and you bend that 3 times. And then you go 12, 10, and that's where it starts over. And right here on the second time that it's repeated, right after you go 14, 15 on the 2nd string, you're going to hear this. Okay, all you're doing there is on the 1st string, you're going to go 14, 10, and then go to the 2nd string, 14th fret. And then you're going to hit the 1st string where you're on the 10th fret, and then go back to the 2nd string, 14th fret again. So it goes. Okay, and then right here, on the 2nd string, you're going to go 12, 14. 1st string, 12. And then it repeats right there, starting on the 2nd string, 10th fret. So that part slowly goes. And the third part of the lead outro here is the same as the first part. Okay, and then the last part is almost identical to the second part, but it sounds like this. And that's where the song fades out. So that last part starts off the same. Okay, and once you get to that part, this is the part that changes. It goes 12, 14 on the 2nd string. And then you just lift up so that you're hitting the 10th fret of the 2nd string. And then you end on the 3rd string, 11th fret. So the very last part goes. Alright, and that's right where the song fades out. That song is called Identity by August Burns Red. Thank you for watching.